Introduction. Master Charisma. Be the most interesting person in the room. What makes someone truly captivating? Why do certain people effortlessly command attention, spark engaging conversations, and leave lasting impressions wherever they go? Is it natural talent, sheer confidence, or something deeper? The ability to be interesting is not just a gift given to a select few. It's a skill that anyone can develop. Charisma, influence, and social magnetism are not reserved for celebrities, public speakers, or extroverts. They are the result of understanding human nature, mastering key social behaviors, and learning how to present yourself in a way that draws people in. Imagine walking into any room, whether it's a party, a networking event, or a casual gathering, and knowing that people will be naturally drawn to you. Imagine having conversations that flow effortlessly, leaving people intrigued, entertained, and eager to talk to you again. This book is designed to help you achieve exactly that. In Master Charisma, be the most interesting person in the room. You will learn the science and psychology behind what makes people fascinating. You'll uncover practical strategies to enhance your presence, sharpen your storytelling skills, and develop the confidence to engage with anyone. You'll discover how to cultivate emotional intelligence, use humor effectively, and turn even the most mundane conversations into captivating exchanges. Each chapter will break down a different element of charisma, from mastering first impressions to developing a unique and memorable personality. You'll learn how to make people feel valued, how to command a room without arrogance, and how to build deep, meaningful connections effortlessly. Whether you're looking to boost your social skills, advance in your career, or simply become the kind of person others can't help but gravitate toward, this book will provide you with the tools to make it happen. Being interesting isn't about being the loudest or the most outgoing. It's about being intentional, engaging, and authentically yourself in a way that draws people in. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Art of Charisma. What makes someone captivating? Charisma is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood traits a person can have. Some believe it's an inborn quality, something only a lucky few are blessed with. But the truth is, charisma isn't about luck. It's not something reserved for celebrities, public speakers, or natural extroverts. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and mastered. If you've ever walked into a room and felt invisible, struggled to keep a conversation going, or wondered why certain people seem to command attention effortlessly, you're not alone. The good news? You can change that. You can become the person others gravitate toward, the one who leaves a lasting impression, who makes people feel excited, engaged, and eager to talk to you again. But to do that, you need to understand what makes someone truly captivating. At its core, charisma is about energy. It's the way you make others feel in your presence. People are naturally drawn to confidence, authenticity, and warmth. Charismatic individuals have an aura that makes people want to listen, engage, and stay connected. But what exactly creates this effect? Let's break it down. Authenticity. Owning who you are. The foundation of true charisma is authenticity. People with natural magnetism don't try to be someone they're not. They don't put on a performance or change their personality based on who they're talking to. Instead, they embrace who they are fully and unapologetically. Think about the most interesting and engaging people you've ever met. Chances are, they weren't trying too hard to impress you. They weren't overly polished or robotic in their conversations. Instead, they spoke from a place of genuine self-assurance. They had their own opinions, shared their unique perspectives, and expressed themselves freely. If you want to be more charismatic, start by embracing your true self. What are your strengths? What are your passions? What makes you unique? Stop worrying about what others expect from you and start focusing on what makes you feel the most alive. When you do, people will naturally be drawn to your energy. Confidence, the silent magnetism. Confidence is one of the most powerful elements of charisma. When someone believes in themselves, it creates a ripple effect. Others start believing in them too. Confidence isn't about arrogance or acting superior. It's about carrying yourself with certainty and comfort in who you are. If you struggle with confidence, don't worry. It's something you can build over time. Start by paying attention to your body language. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and maintain strong eye contact. When you walk into a room, move with purpose. When you speak, Do it clearly and with conviction. Even if you don't feel confident yet, adopting these behaviors will start to trick your mind into feeling more self-assured. Another important aspect of confidence is handling rejection and criticism. Charismatic people don't let setbacks define them. They understand that not everyone will like them, and that's okay. Instead of shrinking in uncomfortable situations, they own the moment, laugh off awkwardness, and move forward without hesitation. Presence, the gift of undivided attention. One of the biggest mistakes people make in social interactions is failing to be fully present. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone keeps checking their phone, looking around the room, or thinking about what they're going to say next? It doesn't feel good, does it? Charismatic people make others feel important because they give them their full attention. They aren't distracted. They aren't thinking about what's next. They are locked into the moment, making the other person feel seen and heard. To develop presence, start practicing deep listening. When someone speaks, focus entirely on them. Notice their facial expressions, their tone, and their emotions. Respond in a way that shows you're engaged. Ask thoughtful questions. Make people feel like they are the most important person in the room when they are talking to you. This simple shift will instantly make you more charismatic. Emotional intelligence. Understanding the room. Great communicators and charismatic individuals have one thing in common. They understand emotions, both their own and those of others. This is called emotional intelligence, and it plays a massive role in how people perceive you. Emotional intelligence allows you to read the energy in a room. It helps you adjust your tone, body language, and words based on the situation. It helps you sense when someone is feeling uncomfortable, when a joke isn't landing, or when someone needs encouragement. If you want to develop emotional intelligence, start paying closer attention to people's nonverbal cues. Watch their body language, listen to the subtle shifts in their voice, and notice how they react to different topics. The more you practice reading people, the better you'll become at navigating social situations with ease. Passion, the spark that draws people in. Have you ever listened to someone talk about something they love? Even if you weren't initially interested in the topic, their excitement probably made you want to listen. That's the power of passion. Charismatic people are passionate. They have interests, hobbies, and beliefs that excite them, and they aren't afraid to share them. Their enthusiasm is contagious. When they speak, their energy fills the room. They don't just talk. They bring stories to life. If you want to be more engaging, find what excites you. It doesn't matter what it is. Music, sports, history, technology, philosophy. Whatever fuels your curiosity, dive into it. When you speak about something you love, people will naturally be drawn to your enthusiasm. Humor, the ultimate icebreaker. People love to laugh. A good sense of humor instantly makes you more charismatic. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian, but knowing how to lighten the mood, tell an interesting story, or playfully tease in the right moments can make you incredibly engaging. Humor is powerful because it makes people feel good. When you make someone laugh, they associate that positive feeling with you. This strengthens your connection and makes people want to be around you more. The key is to keep it light and inclusive. Pay attention to how others react to your jokes. If something doesn't land, don't force it. And never use humor to put others down. That's not charisma, that's insecurity. Instead, focus on making people feel comfortable and entertained. The combination of these traits. Charisma isn't just about one trait. It's the combination of authenticity, confidence, presence, emotional intelligence, passion, and humor. When you develop these qualities, you naturally become someone people want to be around. The best part? You don't have to be born with any of these traits. You can develop them through practice. You can train yourself to be more confident, more present, more engaging. You can refine your social skills, improve your storytelling, and enhance your ability to connect with others. In the next chapter, we'll dive into one of the most crucial aspects of charisma, the power of first impressions. How do you walk into a room and immediately capture attention? How do you leave people curious and wanting more after just a few seconds? Let's explore the science of first impressions and how you can master them to become the most interesting person in the room. Chapter 2. The Art of First Impressions. First impressions are powerful. In just a few seconds, people form lasting opinions about you. Sometimes, before you even say a word. Whether you're meeting someone at a party, a job interview, or a casual gathering, Those initial moments set the tone for how others perceive you. The good news? You have control over how you present yourself. And mastering first impressions is one of the fastest ways to become the most interesting person in the room. The power of presence. Before you even speak, your presence speaks for you. Your body language, facial expressions, and energy level all send signals that people pick up on instantly. Charismatic individuals have a natural way of commanding attention. Not by being loud or overbearing, but by exuding confidence and warmth. One of the easiest ways to improve your presence is through strong posture. Stand tall, shoulders relaxed, and make eye contact with those around you. Slouching or looking down makes you appear unsure of yourself, while an upright posture with a slight smile makes you seem approachable and self-assured. Another key factor is eye contact. Holding eye contact without staring makes you appear more engaged and trustworthy. If you struggle with this, practice looking at the bridge of someone's nose or between their eyebrows. It gives the illusion of direct eye contact while feeling less intimidating. The right mindset. Confidence without arrogance. Charismatic people aren't necessarily the smartest or most talented individuals in the room. They are, however, the ones who believe in themselves. They approach every conversation with the assumption that they are valuable and have something worth sharing. This doesn't mean being arrogant or trying to prove yourself. Instead, it's about carrying yourself as if you are already someone worth knowing. One way to cultivate this mindset is through positive self-talk. Before walking in a room, remind yourself, I belong here. People enjoy my presence. I have interesting things to say and share. This small mental shift can make a huge difference in how you carry yourself and how others respond to you. The charismatic handshake. A handshake might seem like a minor detail, but it can instantly set the tone for an interaction. A weak handshake signals insecurity, while an overly firm one can come across as aggressive. Aim for a confident but friendly handshake. Firm, but not crushing, while making eye contact and smiling. If handshakes aren't common in your culture, a simple nod with strong eye contact or a warm "nice to meet you" can have the same effect. The art of the warm introduction. How you introduce yourself matters. A common mistake people make is rushing through introductions or making them sound dull. For example, hey, I'm your name. I've been looking forward to this. How's your day going? Hi, I'm your name. I love meeting new people. What's something interesting about you? By making the conversation about the other person, you instantly create an engaging interaction. People love talking about themselves, and if you make them feel valued, they'll naturally be drawn to you. The importance of energy and enthusiasm. People are drawn to energy, not in an over-the-top hyperactive way, but in a way that shows you are engaged and excited to be there. Enthusiasm is contagious, and when you bring good energy into a room, people notice. A quick trick to boost your energy before entering a social setting is to listen to upbeat music or do a small confidence-boosting activity like deep breathing or visualization. This helps put you in the right mindset to engage with others in an authentic and charismatic way. How to make people feel special in seconds. One of the most powerful ways to leave a lasting impression is by making others feel important. Charismatic people have a way of making everyone feel like the most interesting person in the room. Some simple ways to do this. Use their name early in conversation. People love hearing their name. It creates an instant connection. Give genuine compliments. Instead of generic ones like, nice shirt, try, that color looks great on you, or you have a great energy about you. Be fully present. Put away distractions, avoid looking around the room while they talk, and truly engage in the conversation. Mastering the first few minutes. The first few minutes of any interaction are the most critical. If you can capture someone's interest and make them feel comfortable, the rest of the conversation will flow effortlessly. Here's a simple formula to master the first few moments. 1. Greet with warmth. Smile, make eye contact, and give a confident greeting. 2. Introduce yourself in an engaging way. Avoid robotic introductions. Make it feel natural. Ask an open-ended question. Get them talking about themselves. 4. Be fully present. Give them your full attention and show genuine interest. When you consistently apply these principles, people will start remembering you as someone who makes them feel valued and excited to engage with. Final thoughts. Mastering first impressions is about owning your presence, engaging with confidence, and making others feel important. It's not about being the loudest person in the room or trying too hard to impress. It's about being intentional with how you present yourself and interact with others. The next time you walk into a room, remember that you have complete control over how you are perceived. With the right energy, confidence, and mindset, you can instantly become the kind of person people are naturally drawn to. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the secrets of becoming a captivating storyteller, one of the most powerful skills you can develop to make any conversation unforgettable. Chapter 3. The Power of Storytelling. Captivating any audience. Some people walk into a room and instantly draw others in. They don't need to be the loudest or the most extrovert. Instead, they have a way of making everything they say feel engaging, exciting, and meaningful. The secret? They're great storytellers. Storytelling is one of the most powerful skills you can develop to become the most interesting person in the room. It allows you to turn everyday experiences into captivating moments that leave a lasting impression. Whether you're talking to a friend, networking at an event, or even on a date, the ability to tell a great story makes you magnetic. Why storytelling works? Stories have been a core part of human connection for thousands of years. Our brains are wired to respond to narratives in a way that simple facts or statements can't match. A well-told story activates emotions, paints vivid mental images, and creates a sense of engagement. Think about a time someone told you an incredible story. You probably leaned in, felt excited, and wanted to hear what happened next. That's the power of storytelling. You don't just communicate, you transport people into your world. The formula for a great story. Not every story is compelling. Some people ramble, lose their audience, or take too long to get to the point. Great storytellers follow a simple structure that hooks listeners and keeps them engaged. Here's a basic formula. 1. The hook. Start with something intriguing. A bold statement, a question, or an unexpected event grabs attention instantly. 2. The setup. Give just enough background to set the scene. Where you were, what was happening, and why it matters. 3. The conflict. Every good story has a moment of challenge, tension, or surprise. This is what keeps people interested. 4. The resolution. How did it all end? What was the lesson, realization, or outcome? 5. The takeaway. Make it relevant. Why should your audience care? A good story leaves people with a feeling, a lesson, or something to remember, making ordinary stories extraordinary. A great storyteller doesn't need wild, unbelievable experiences to be interesting. Even simple, everyday moments can become engaging and memorable if told the right way. Imagine two people describing the same event. Person A: I got stuck in traffic today. It was annoying. Person B: so, I'm sitting in my car, already late, and suddenly, bam! A guy in a clown costume jogs past my car, juggling oranges. At that moment, I realized two things. 1. I wasn't as stressed as I thought. And 2. Life is just weird. Which story is more interesting? The second one. Why? It uses vivid details, emotion, and a bit of humor to turn a boring event into something engaging. Here's how you can make your story stand out. Use sensory details. Instead of saying, "It was cold," say, "The wind cut through my jacket like tiny ice daggers." Add emotion. How did you feel in the moment? Nervous? Excited? Confused? Let the listener experience it with you. Include dialogue. Instead of saying, "He was surprised," say, "He looked at me and went, 'Are you serious?'" Keeping people engaged? One mistake people make is dragging a story on for too long. Even the most exciting story can lose impact if it takes forever to get to the point. Keep your stories tight and focused. If you feel like you're losing your audience, bring it back with. And that's when everything changed. But here's the crazy part. I didn't expect what happened next. These phrases reignite curiosity and keep people listening. Using storytelling to connect with anyone. Beyond just being entertaining, storytelling is a powerful way to build deep connections. When you share personal stories, struggles, and lessons, people relate to you on a deeper level. For example, instead of saying, I started working out recently, you could say. A few months ago, I looked in the mirror and thought, wow, I really need to do something about this. So I dragged myself to the gym, and within 10 minutes, I was questioning all my life choices. But then, something shifted. This makes the story more relatable, vulnerable, and engaging. The secret weapon: humor and suspense. Want to take your storytelling to the next level? Use humor and suspense. Humor makes people enjoy your presence. Even small, witty observations can turn a regular conversation into something fun. Suspense keeps people on edge, eager to hear what happens next. Tease details, pause at key moments, and let the listener feel the anticipation. Final thoughts. Being an interesting person isn't about having the wildest experiences. It's about how you share them. Mastering storytelling will instantly make you more engaging, memorable, and magnetic. Try this. Next time you're in a conversation, instead of just giving a fact, tell a story. See how people respond. In the next chapter, we'll explore the power of body language and how to use it to your advantage. Chapter 4. The power of body language, speaking without words. Before you even say a word, people have already formed an opinion about you. Your body language, how you stand, move, and express yourself, communicates confidence, charisma, and approachability before a single syllable leaves your mouth. The most interesting people in the room don't just rely on their words. They use their entire presence to captivate those around them. Mastering body language can make you instantly more engaging, persuasive, and memorable. First impressions. The silent message you send. They say, don't judge a book by its cover. But the truth is, people do it all the time. Within seconds of meeting you, others pick up on subtle cues that tell them who you are and how you feel about yourself. If you walk into a room with slouched shoulders, your head down and your arms crossed, what does that say? It signals insecurity, nervousness, or disinterest. But if you enter with an open posture, a relaxed stance, and a confident gaze, you immediately appear engaged, self-assured, and magnetic. The way you carry yourself shapes how others see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Science backs this up. Studies show that adopting power poses, like standing tall with open gestures, boosts confidence and even changes brain chemistry. So, before you even start a conversation, set yourself up for success by mastering your presence. The fundamentals of confident body language. Want to exude confidence and charm? Focus on these key elements. 1. Tie. Posture. Stand like you belong. Keep your back straight but not stiff. Roll your shoulders back to open your chest. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. This grounds you and prevents fidgeting. Avoid crossing your arms as it can make you look closed off. This type of posture sends a clear message. I am comfortable. I belong here. 2. Eye contact. The secret to connection. Ever talk to someone who avoided eye contact? It makes them seem either shy, distracted, or untrustworthy. On the other hand, strong eye contact conveys confidence and engagement. But there's a balance. Staring too intensely can feel intimidating. Try the 8020 rule. Maintain eye contact 80% of the time, and occasionally break it to keep things natural. If making direct eye contact feels uncomfortable, focus on the other person's nose or eyebrows. It creates the same effect. 3. Why? Gestures. Talk with your hands the right way. The most captivating speakers use their hands effectively. Open hand gestures make you appear trustworthy and expressive. Avoid fidgeting, touching your face too often, or keeping your hands in your pockets. When making a key point, use controlled, purposeful gestures rather than wild, erratic movements. If you're unsure what to do with your hands, rest them naturally at your sides when you're not using them to gesture. 4. Facial expressions. Show emotion. Your face should match your message. A monotone voice with a blank expression makes even the most exciting story fall flat. Smile genuinely. It makes you more approachable and likable. Use raised eyebrows and subtle nods to show engagement and curiosity. Avoid nervous habits like lip biting, frowning, or excessive blinking. A well-timed smirk, raised eyebrow, or playful grin can add personality and intrigue to a conversation. How to appear instantly more charismatic. Now that we've covered the basics, let's go deeper. Here are some advanced techniques used by charismatic people. The power pause. Most people rush to fill silences out of nervousness. Charismatic individuals, on the other hand, embrace pauses. Pausing for 1-2 seconds before speaking makes you seem more confident and intentional. It also creates suspense, making people hang on to your words. Instead of saying, or simply pause. It adds power to your presence. Try this. Next time you're about to answer a question, take a brief pause before responding. You'll immediately sound more thoughtful and self-assured. Mirroring. Subtly creating instant connection. People like those who are similar to them. By subtly mirroring someone's body language, tone, and pace of speech, you create an instant subconscious bond. If someone leans in, lean in slightly too. If they speak softly, lower your voice a little. If they're animated, match their energy without overdoing it. But be careful. Don't make it obvious. Mirroring should be natural and subtle, not robotic or forced. Owning the space. Have you ever noticed how charismatic people take up space without looking awkward? They don't shrink or fidget. They own their presence. When sitting, keep your arms relaxed on armrests or the table instead of folding them tightly. When walking, move deliberately instead of shuffling or hesitate. Avoid excessive nodding or movements that make you seem anxious. Taking up space signals confidence and comfort in any environment. Avoiding common body language mistakes. Even if you master positive body language, certain habits can ruin your presence. Avoid these. Looking down too often, it makes you appear unconfident or uninterested. Tapping or fidgeting. It signals nervousness and distracts from your words. Crossing arms and legs tightly. It makes you look defensive or closed off. Leaning away too much. It can seem like you're disengaged or uninterested. Instead, stay relaxed, open, and present. Body language in different social settings. The way you use body language should adapt to different situations. Let's break it down. In conversations, face the person directly, showing genuine interest, not occasionally to indicate active listening. Keep your hands visible. Hiding them makes you seem nervous. In group settings, make eye contact with everyone in the group, not just one person. Use bigger gestures to match the energy of a larger crowd. If telling a story, glance around to include everyone in the experience. On a date, keep your body angled toward the person, showing engagement. Smile naturally and avoid crossing your arms. Subtle touches like tapping their hand when making a point create connection. At work or networking events, stand tall with a relaxed, confident posture. Offer a firm but friendly handshake. Mirror the tone and body language of the person you're speaking to. Final thoughts. Mastering body language is one of the fastest ways to become more interesting, confident, and charismatic. People don't just remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. Try this challenge. The next time you enter a room, pay attention to your body language. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and use open gestures. See how people respond. In the next chapter, we'll explore the power of curiosity and how asking the right questions can make you unforgettable. Chapter 5. The Art of Conversation. Engaging and keeping attention. Mastering the art of conversation is essential to becoming the most interesting person in the room. While body language and appearance play a significant role, how you communicate, what you say, and how you say it, ultimately determines your ability to capture attention and keep others engaged. Being a great conversationalist isn't about dominating every discussion or constantly talking about yourself. Instead, it's about creating an environment where the conversation flows freely, everyone feels involved, and the exchange is memorable. In this chapter, we'll explore the core elements that make up compelling conversation and how you can implement them to become the person everyone wants to talk to. The power of listening. To truly engage people in conversation, you first need to be an active listener. It sounds simple, but listening is a skill that is often overlooked in today's fast-paced, multitasking world. People love to talk, but they also love to be heard. When you show that you are genuinely interested in what others are saying, you build a connection and establish a sense of trust and mutual respect. Active listening goes beyond simply hearing words. It involves fully absorbing what someone is saying and responding thoughtfully. Here's how you can practice it. 1. Maintain eye contact. This shows that you are focused on the conversation. Avoid distractions like checking your phone or looking around the room. 2. Use verbal and non-verbal cues. Nod occasionally. Say things like, "I see," or "That's interesting," and use facial expressions to convey your understanding. 3. Ask follow-up questions. Demonstrating curiosity about what the other person is saying will keep the conversation flowing and show you care about their perspective. For example, after someone shares a story, ask, "How did that make you feel?" or "What happened next?" 4. Avoid interrupting. Let the other person speak without cutting them off or finishing their sentences. Interrupting can make them feel invalidated and shut down the conversation. When you listen actively, you allow the other person to feel important, which naturally makes the conversation more enjoyable for both of you. The art of asking questions. One of the most powerful tools in a conversation is the art of asking thoughtful, engaging questions. A great question can completely change the direction of a discussion and reveal deeper insights about the other person. The key is to ask questions that invite more than a simple "yes" or "no" answer. These are called open-ended questions. They encourage the other person to elaborate on their thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Here are some examples. What has been your biggest accomplishment this year? Tell me more about your experience with that. What inspired you to pursue that path? How do you feel about that situation? These types of questions invite stories, which are inherently more engaging than factual or closed responses. When people tell you their stories, they become more vulnerable and connect with you on a deeper level. The more authentic the conversation, the more memorable it becomes. Avoiding common conversational pitfalls. To truly stand out as an interesting conversationalist, there are several common pitfalls you need to avoid. Being aware of these mistakes will help you improve your conversations and make them more enjoyable for everyone involved. 1. Talking too much about yourself. While it's natural to share your experiences and opinions, dominating the conversation can turn people off. If you find that you're talking more than the other person, take a step back and encourage them to share their thoughts instead. 2. Interrupting. As mentioned earlier, interrupting someone mid-sentence can be very frustrating. It's tempting to share your own thoughts or ideas as soon as you hear something interesting, but pause and listen before responding. 3. Monopolizing the conversation with your opinions. Everyone has opinions, and they are all valid. However, constantly pushing your viewpoint without showing interest in others' perspectives can make the conversation feel one-sided. Instead, try to create a dialogue, not a monologue. Ask questions, invite feedback, and allow the other person to feel that their opinions matter. 4. Being distracted. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. If you're constantly checking your phone, looking around the room, or daydreaming during a conversation, it sends the message that you're not fully present. Put away distractions and focus on the person in front of you. People appreciate attention and value being heard. The power of storytelling. One of the best ways to keep others engaged in a conversation is through storytelling. Humans are naturally drawn to stories, and a well-told story can capture attention and make your point more memorable. Charismatic people are often excellent storytellers. They know how to bring a topic to life, engage emotions, and add drama or humor to make their experiences more relatable. Here are a few tips for mastering storytelling. 1. Set the scene. Describe where you were, who was there, and what happened. Give enough detail to paint a picture in the listener's mind without overwhelming them with information. 2. Use emotion. Whether it's excitement, fear, joy, or even frustration, emotions make your story more engaging. Don't be afraid to show your feelings when telling a story. It will help others connect with you. 3. Keep it relevant. Make sure your story ties into the conversation at hand. If you're talking about a work project, for example, share a relevant story about a time you faced a challenge at work. Your story should enhance the topic, not derail it. 4. End with a point. Every good story has a lesson or conclusion. After sharing a story, explain what you learned from the experience or how it applies to the present conversation. The importance of humor in conversation. A well-timed joke or lighthearted comment can work wonders in a conversation. Humor has the unique ability to break the ice, lighten the mood, and create a more relaxed and comfortable environment. People are naturally drawn to those who can make them laugh, as humor helps form a bond of shared enjoyment. That said, humor should always be appropriate to the situation. Be mindful of the context and the personalities of the people you're conversing with. A joke that may work in a casual setting might not be appropriate in a formal or professional environment. If humor comes naturally to you, use it to your advantage. If you're unsure, focus on using light, situational humor rather than trying too hard to be funny. Often, the best humor comes from being genuine and spontaneous, bringing it all together, being the most interesting person in the room. To truly become the most interesting person in the room, focus on more than just talking. You must become a master of listening, asking the right questions, telling great stories, and being fully present in the conversation. The people who command attention and leave a lasting impression are those who make others feel valued and engaged. The next time you step into a room, take a moment to observe your body language, your posture, and the way you interact. Are you creating an environment where others feel comfortable, excited, and inspired to speak? Are you asking the kinds of questions that lead to engaging, meaningful discussions? By applying these principles, you'll naturally attract others and become the person who everyone wants to talk to. In the next chapter, we will explore how embracing vulnerability can deepen your connections and make you even more magnetic in social situations. Chapter 6. Confidence and presence, owning every room you walk into. Confidence and presence are often the first things people notice when you walk into a room. Without uttering a single word, your body language, posture, and energy can set the tone for the interaction. Being able to confidently own any room you enter is one of the key traits that makes someone truly interesting to be around. It's not just about feeling good about yourself. It's about conveying that self-assuredness to others and making an impact. At its core, confidence is a belief in yourself and your abilities. It's the understanding that you are worthy and capable of handling whatever comes your way. Confidence is not about thinking you are better than others, but about knowing that you have value and that you can contribute meaningfully in any setting. However, confidence isn't something that happens automatically. It's something you cultivate over time through action, self-reflection, and overcoming obstacles. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert, extrovert, or somewhere in between. Confidence can be developed, and it's something everyone can harness. Building confidence. Building confidence is a journey, and it begins with small steps. The first and most important step is believing in your worth. This isn't about arrogance, but about having the belief that your ideas, your voice, and your presence matter. This belief must be internalized in such a way that no external opinion can shake your sense of self. Start by focusing on your strengths. What are you good at? What makes you unique? Reflecting on your positive attributes helps to shift your focus away from any perceived shortcomings or doubts. Write these strengths down and remind yourself of them regularly. When you start to recognize your value, your confidence will grow organically. Another key to building confidence is taking action. Confidence is built through experience, especially the experiences where you challenge yourself and step outside your comfort zone. When you push yourself to face new challenges, even if it's uncomfortable at first, you prove to yourself that you're capable. With every action, your confidence grows stronger, and you start to trust yourself more. Body language, the silent confidence booster. It's often said that body language speaks louder than words. When you walk into a room, your posture, facial expressions, and gestures can send powerful messages. To cultivate the right kind of presence, start by standing tall, keeping your shoulders back, and maintaining eye contact with those around you. These simple actions communicate that you're comfortable with yourself and that you're ready to engage. Good posture alone can boost your confidence and make you appear more approachable. People tend to gravitate towards those who exude self-assurance, and good body language is one of the easiest ways to start exuding that presence. In addition to posture, your facial expressions are key. Smiling, for instance, signals openness and warmth, and it's a great way to break the ice. A warm, genuine smile will draw people in and make you appear more approachable. If you look like you're enjoying yourself and are engaged, others will be more likely to want to join the conversation. The power of your body language is evident when you see someone walk into a room and immediately command attention without saying a word. It's not magic. It's simply confidence in action. When you own your body language, it will make a huge difference in how others perceive you. Presence. Being fully engaged. Having confidence is one thing, but having true presence is something entirely different. Presence is about being fully in the moment, giving your full attention to the people and situation at hand. It's not about showing up physically, it's about showing up mentally and emotionally as well. When you enter a room, make an effort to connect with the energy in the space. Be aware of the dynamics in the room and take note of how people are interacting. Are there quiet people who need encouragement to speak up? Are there dominant personalities that you can balance with a thoughtful question or comment? Presence is about understanding the situation and engaging in a way that fosters a positive and productive environment. True presence involves listening actively. When you're truly engaged in a conversation, you aren't just waiting for your turn to speak. You're listening, processing the information, and offering thoughtful responses. This level of attention makes others feel valued and respected, and in turn, they'll feel more inclined to listen to you and value your opinions as well. Additionally, maintaining presence involves managing distractions. If you're constantly checking your phone or looking around the room when someone is speaking to you, it sends the message that you're not truly present. Being fully engaged, whether it's with one person or a group, signals confidence in your ability to hold space in the conversation. People will remember that you gave them your full attention, and that makes you more magnetic. Mastering social situations. Mastering confidence and presence doesn't mean you have to be the loudest or most dominant person in the room. It's about bringing the right energy to any social setting and being able to adapt to different environments with ease. You can be an engaging conversationalist without overshadowing others, and you can hold the floor when necessary without being overbearing. The key to being truly interesting is balancing the art of listening and speaking. If you dominate every conversation, others will get tired of trying to interact with you. But if you show genuine interest in others, asking questions and showing curiosity, you'll be able to engage in meaningful dialogue. This balance will ensure that your presence is felt without overwhelming the conversation. Being confident in a social setting also means you're not afraid to make mistakes. If you stumble over words or say something awkward, it's okay. People respect authenticity. Confidence is about owning those moments, laughing at yourself when appropriate, and moving forward without losing your composure. The impact of confidence and presence. When you consistently show up with confidence and presence, you begin to change the dynamics of every room you enter. People will look to you for leadership, insight, and inspiration. You'll naturally draw others in with your energy, and they'll be eager to connect with you. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Being the most interesting person in the room isn't about trying to impress others or seeking validation. It's about owning who you are, being comfortable in your skin, and contributing positively to the energy around you. Confidence and presence help you do this effortlessly. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the importance of embracing vulnerability and how it can actually enhance your charisma. We'll explore why opening up about your weaknesses and struggles can help you connect more deeply with others, making you even more magnetic. Chapter 7. Embracing Vulnerability. The Power of Being Real. In the world of charisma, one of the most powerful tools at your disposal is vulnerability. It may seem counterintuitive to think that showing weakness or exposing your true self can make you more interesting, but in reality, it can make you far more magnetic. Vulnerability creates an emotional connection, and people are drawn to those who allow themselves to be human, flaws and all. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability is the willingness to expose your inner thoughts, feelings, and experiences without the fear of judgment. It involves being authentic and transparent, allowing others to see the real you, without the mask of perfectionism or guardedness. Vulnerability is not about oversharing or unloading your emotional baggage on others, but about being honest and open in a way that fosters trust and deeper connection. This doesn't mean you need to share your darkest secrets with every person you meet, but it does mean that you're comfortable letting go of the facade of perfection. You embrace your humanity, and in doing so, you allow others to feel comfortable doing the same. Vulnerability is what builds genuine relationships and is what makes you appear more approachable, empathetic, and trustworthy. The benefits of vulnerability. When you embrace vulnerability, you offer something valuable: authenticity. And authenticity is magnetic. People are tired of the fake, polished versions of others that they see on social media or in the world around them. They crave connection with real, raw, and imperfect people. People who are willing to share their true selves without the need to be perfect. By allowing others to see your imperfections, you also allow them to relate to you on a much deeper level. When you share a struggle or a personal story, you invite others to do the same. This can be incredibly powerful in both social and professional settings, as it fosters mutual respect and empathy. Vulnerability is also a way to disarm others. When you open up about something personal or difficult, it takes away the pressure for others to appear perfect or flawless. It makes everyone feel a little more human and a little less worried about judgment. This creates an environment where people can be more relaxed and at ease, which makes them more likely to connect with you. Why people are drawn to vulnerability. When people see that you are willing to be vulnerable, they feel safe. Safety is the foundation of any deep, meaningful connection. Vulnerability signals that you trust the people around you, and that trust is contagious. Others will feel more comfortable opening up to you, and this creates an atmosphere of mutual understanding and authenticity. Moreover, vulnerability creates a sense of relatability. No one has a perfect life. We all face challenges, insecurities, and moments of doubt. When you share your struggles or talk openly about the difficulties you've faced, you show others that they aren't alone in their experiences. They may be facing similar challenges themselves, and your openness can be the spark that encourages them to share their own stories. This sense of relatability is crucial for establishing long-lasting relationships. People are more likely to remember you and connect with you if they feel they have something in common with you. Vulnerability helps create that shared ground. Vulnerability and charisma. The connection. You may be wondering how vulnerability ties into charisma. Charisma is often defined as a magnetic presence, an energy that draws people in. It's a combination of confidence, empathy, and authenticity. Vulnerability is a crucial part of that authenticity. By being vulnerable, you invite people into your world. You're not trying to impress them or put up a barrier between yourself and them. Instead, you're inviting them to see you as you truly are. And in doing so, you make yourself far more interesting than any perfect polished persona ever could. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is trying to present an idealized version of themselves. It's easy to spot, right? The overly rehearsed responses, the constant need for validation, the guarded personalities. But then, imagine someone who walks in and simply speaks from the heart, sharing their real thoughts and feelings. That person stands out immediately. Why? Because they are authentic. They are comfortable being real in a room full of people trying to appear perfect. Vulnerability is what allows you to connect on a deeper level with others. It breaks through the walls of superficiality and opens the door to more meaningful conversations. When you can be vulnerable, you invite others to be the same. And the connections that result are the foundation of your charisma. Overcoming the fear of vulnerability. Despite its benefits, vulnerability can be scary. Many people fear judgment, rejection, or the idea of being seen as weak. The truth is, vulnerability does make you more exposed, but it doesn't make you weaker. It makes you stronger because you're able to face those fears and embrace them. If you're worried about being judged for showing vulnerability, consider this. Everyone has their insecurities. Everyone has their moments of self-doubt. By showing vulnerability, you're not only being honest with others, but you're also giving them permission to do the same. You're creating an environment where people can be themselves without fear of judgment. The more you practice vulnerability, the easier it becomes. Start small. Share a personal story with someone you trust, and notice how it makes you feel. Chances are, you'll feel a sense of relief after being open. Gradually, you can begin to share more, and you'll see how your relationships deepen as a result. Remember, vulnerability is not about oversharing or making every conversation about your struggles. It's about finding the balance between openness and appropriateness. It's about sharing in a way that invites connection, not overwhelm. Vulnerability in social and professional settings. Vulnerability is incredibly powerful in both social and professional contexts. In social settings, it helps you build deeper friendships and stronger bonds. People are more likely to trust you, confide in you, and share their own vulnerabilities with you when you model that behavior first. In professional settings, vulnerability can help you become a better leader, collaborator, and communicator. Leaders who show vulnerability are more relatable and approachable, which in turn makes their teams more engaged and willing to follow their guidance. Vulnerability in the workplace doesn't mean oversharing personal details, but it does mean being open about challenges, admitting when you don't know something, and being transparent about goals and mistakes. Being vulnerable in your professional life helps create a culture of authenticity and trust. When people feel safe enough to share their thoughts, ideas, and concerns, it leads to better teamwork, innovation, and productivity. Conclusion: embracing vulnerability is a key component of building charisma and becoming the most interesting person in the room. It allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, build trust, and foster genuine relationships. Rather than being a weakness, vulnerability is a strength that makes you more authentic, relatable, and magnetic. As you continue to develop your confidence, presence, and communication skills, remember that it's the willingness to be vulnerable that sets you apart. Vulnerability isn't something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. It's what makes you real. It's what makes you interesting. And it's what makes you truly charismatic. In the next chapter, we'll explore the art of conversation and how to engage others in meaningful dialogue, a skill that will enhance your charisma even further. Chapter 8. The Art of Conversation. Engaging with others effectively. When it comes to being the most interesting person in the room, one of the key skills you can develop is the art of conversation. It's not enough to simply be interesting. You also need to be able to engage others and create meaningful exchanges. The ability to engage in conversation is what transforms you from being someone who merely has something to say into someone who draws people in and makes them feel heard, valued, and connected. In this chapter, we'll break down the principles of effective conversation and how they contribute to your overall charisma. The foundation of great conversation. Active listening. The first and most important skill in any conversation is listening. It might sound simple, but many people forget that a conversation is a two-way street. Great conversationalists are often great listeners. They don't just wait for their turn to speak. They actively listen to what the other person is saying. Active listening is about fully engaging with the speaker, both verbally and non-verbally. This means making eye contact, nodding, and offering verbal cues like, "I see," or "That's interesting." But listening goes beyond these surface-level responses. To truly engage with someone, you need to listen not only to their words, but also to their tone, body language, and underlying emotions. One way to improve your listening skills is to practice reflective listening. This involves paraphrasing what the other person has said to ensure that you understand them correctly. For example, you might say, "So what I'm hearing is that you're feeling frustrated with the project's progress. Is that right?" This shows that you're paying attention and that you care about what the other person is saying. Listening is a powerful tool because it creates trust. When someone feels truly heard, they feel valued and respected. And people are drawn to those who make them feel important. Asking the right questions. One of the hallmarks of great conversation is the ability to ask the right questions. These aren't just any questions. They're thoughtful, open-ended questions that invite the other person to share more about themselves. A question like, "How did that make you feel?" Or, "What inspired you to take that approach?" encourages the other person to dig deeper and provides opportunities for meaningful discussion. Asking insightful questions also helps keep the conversation flowing. Instead of relying on yes or no questions, which can lead to dead ends, open-ended questions allow the conversation to evolve naturally. These types of questions show that you're interested in the other person's perspective and that you value their input. But it's not just about asking questions. It's about asking the right questions. Pay attention to the context of the conversation, the other person's interests, and their emotional state. A good conversationalist knows how to steer the conversation toward topics that resonate with others, making them feel more engaged and connected to the exchange. The power of storytelling. One of the most compelling ways to engage others in conversation is through storytelling. Stories captivate our attention, evoke emotions, and create memorable moments. They help us connect on a deeper level by illustrating a shared experience or offering a lesson that resonates with the listener. When you tell a story, you allow your personality to shine through. Whether it's a funny anecdote, a personal experience, or a story from your favorite book, storytelling provides an opportunity for you to express yourself in a way that engages others. The key is to make sure your stories are relatable, concise, and delivered with enthusiasm. A great storyteller knows how to set the scene, build suspense, and bring the story to a satisfying conclusion. They don't just recite facts, they bring the story to life with vivid details, emotions, and a sense of authenticity. This is where your charisma shines. When you're passionate about what you're saying and genuinely invested in the story, your listeners will feel that energy and be drawn to you. Finding common ground. Another important aspect of great conversation is finding common ground. When you can identify shared interests, experiences, or goals, you create a sense of connection that makes the conversation more engaging for both parties. This doesn't mean that you have to agree on everything, but finding areas of mutual understanding can help create rapport. Common ground can come from anything: shared hobbies, similar career paths, or even common struggles. For example, if someone is telling you about their passion for hiking and you've recently completed a challenging hike yourself, you can share your experience and connect over that. Finding common ground helps break down barriers and makes the conversation feel more natural and less forced. The key is to stay open and curious. You don't have to have the same interests as everyone you meet, but you should be interested in what makes them tick. When you show genuine curiosity about another person's experiences, you naturally invite them to share more and open up to you. Keeping the conversation balanced. Great conversation is a dance. It's about give and take. While it's important to be engaging and share your thoughts, it's equally important to give others the chance to speak. A conversation should never feel like a monologue, no matter how interesting you think you are. Make space for others to contribute and actively encourage their participation. A good way to keep the conversation balanced is to ensure that you're asking questions and prompting others to share their opinions. If you find that you're doing most of the talking, pause and ask the other person for their thoughts. A great conversationalist knows how to balance speaking with listening, sharing with reflecting. Body language and non-verbal cues. While words are crucial in a conversation, non-verbal communication plays a huge role in how your message is received. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can all convey emotions, intentions, and interest. In fact, studies show that nonverbal communication makes up a significant portion of our overall communication. When you're engaged in conversation, pay attention to your posture and the way you're holding yourself. Open, relaxed body language signals that you're approachable and present in the moment. On the other hand, crossed arms or tense posture can make you seem closed off or defensive. Similarly, your facial expressions should match the tone of the conversation. Smiling when appropriate, making eye contact, and showing genuine interest through your expressions can go a long way in making the other person feel comfortable. Ending conversations gracefully. Ending a conversation can sometimes be just as important as starting one. A graceful exit ensures that both parties leave the conversation feeling positive and respected. If the conversation is winding down, acknowledge the exchange and express appreciation for the time shared. For instance, saying, "It's been great talking to you. I'd love to continue this another time," shows that you value the person's time and the discussion you had. A positive conclusion can leave the door open for future conversations, and it ensures that everyone feels heard and appreciated. Conclusion: mastering the art of conversation is a powerful skill that can significantly enhance your charisma. Great conversations are about connection, engagement, and shared experiences. By listening actively, asking insightful questions, telling compelling stories, and finding common ground, you can become someone people are drawn to. Remember, it's not just about what you say, it's about how you make the other person feel. When you focus on others and create meaningful exchanges, you become the most interesting person in the room. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the importance of body language and how it complements your verbal communication to further enhance your charisma. Chapter 9. The Power of Body Language. Nonverbal Communication. that speaks volumes. In our journey to becoming the most interesting person in the room, we've covered several important topics, from mastering conversation to cultivating confidence and presence. But there's one key element that often gets overlooked: body language. Nonverbal communication is one of the most powerful tools you can use to enhance your presence and make a lasting impression. It communicates far more than words ever could, and when used correctly, it can elevate your charisma and captivate any audience. In this chapter, we'll explore the impact of body language on how you're perceived by others, how it shapes interactions, and how you can use it to project confidence, approachability, and authority. We'll break down the elements of body language and provide you with actionable tips for mastering nonverbal communication, ensuring that your actions align with the words you speak. The importance of first impressions. We've all heard the phrase, "You never get a second chance to make a first impression." It's true, and much of that first impression is based on body language. Within seconds of meeting someone, your body language conveys messages that shape their perception of you. Are you approachable and confident, or closed off and aloof? Your posture, facial expressions, and overall demeanor create a snapshot of who you are before you even say a word. When you walk into a room, your body language speaks before your voice does. If you want to be the most interesting person in the room, you need to master the art of first impressions. Standing tall, making eye contact, and wearing an open, friendly expression all contribute to a positive impression. The way you carry yourself sends subtle signals about your emotional state. If you're slouched or looking down, people may perceive you as unsure or lacking confidence. On the other hand, standing up straight, holding your head high, and exuding energy can make you appear strong, confident, and self-assured. Qualities that naturally draw people toward you. Posture. The foundation of your presence. Posture is one of the most important aspects of body language. The way you stand, sit, or move sends clear signals about your emotional state and confidence level. Good posture is one of the easiest ways to instantly appear more charismatic and engaging. When you stand or sit with your shoulders back and your chest open, you project strength and confidence. A slumped posture, however, signals discomfort, insecurity, and a lack of confidence. In fact, studies have shown that people with good posture are often perceived as more powerful, attractive, and competent. To improve your posture, be mindful of your body throughout the day. Stand tall, with your feet about shoulder width apart. Avoid crossing your arms, which can make you appear closed off. Instead, keep your arms relaxed at your sides or use them to express yourself while speaking. When sitting, try to avoid slouching or hunching over. Instead, sit upright with your spine straight and your shoulders back. Eye contact, the window to connection. Eye contact is one of the most powerful tools in nonverbal communication. It creates a sense of connection and engagement, making the person you're speaking with feel heard and valued. When you make direct eye contact, you signal confidence, sincerity, and attentiveness. It demonstrates that you're fully present in the conversation and genuinely interested in what the other person has to say. However, there's an art to making eye contact. Too little eye contact can make you seem disinterested or evasive, while too much eye contact can come off as intimidating or uncomfortable. The key is to find a balance. Aim to maintain eye contact for about 50–60% of the conversation, allowing for brief breaks to avoid staring. If you're speaking to a group, try to make eye contact with different people throughout the conversation to engage everyone. It's also important to be mindful of cultural differences when it comes to eye contact. In some cultures, prolonged eye contact is seen as a sign of respect and confidence, while in others, it can be considered rude or confrontational. Understanding these cultural nuances can help you avoid miscommunication and ensure that your body language is interpreted correctly. Facial expressions, the mirror of your emotions. Your face is a powerful indicator of your emotions. It's the part of your body that most readily reflects how you feel, and it plays a significant role in how others perceive you. A smile can make you seem warm and approachable, while a furrowed brow or tight-lipped expression can signal tension or discomfort. Smiling is one of the simplest and most effective ways to enhance your charisma. It signals that you're friendly, open, and confident. A genuine smile, one that engages the eyes and the whole face, has the power to draw people in and make them feel at ease. In addition to smiling, pay attention to your overall facial expression. Make sure it aligns with the tone of the conversation. If you're discussing something serious, try to maintain a thoughtful, engaged expression. If you're telling a joke or a funny story, let your face reflect the humor of the situation. Avoid looking distracted or uninterested, as this can negatively affect the flow of conversation and reduce your impact. Gestures, using your body to reinforce your message. Gestures are another key element of body language that can help emphasize your words and convey confidence. When you use hand gestures while speaking, you make yourself appear more engaging and animated. However, the key is to use gestures that complement your words and don't distract from the conversation. For example, when talking about something large or significant, you might use expansive hand gestures to emphasize the magnitude of the subject. If you're making a point, using your hands to illustrate the idea can make it more memorable and impactful. However, be mindful of your gestures. Overusing them can come across as overly theatrical, while too few gestures can make you seem stiff or robotic. In addition to hand gestures, your overall movement can also play a role in how you're perceived. Moving confidently and purposefully can make you seem more assertive and in control. Avoid fidgeting or making small, nervous movements, as these can indicate anxiety or discomfort. The power of touch, creating connection. While it's important to be aware of cultural differences, touch can also be a powerful tool for building rapport and creating a deeper connection with others. A firm handshake, a pat on the back, or a light touch on the arm can convey warmth and friendliness. However, it's essential to respect personal boundaries. What feels appropriate in one culture or context may not be in another. Always be mindful of the other person's comfort level and ensure that any physical contact you initiate is welcome. Conclusion: owning your body language. Mastering body language is one of the most powerful tools you can use to become the most interesting person in the room. Your nonverbal communication speaks volumes, often before you've even uttered a word. By being mindful of your posture, eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, and touch, you can ensure that you're sending the right messages to those around you. When your body language aligns with your words, you'll appear more confident, approachable, and charismatic, qualities that naturally attract people to you. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to cultivate emotional intelligence, which is another essential skill for building deep, meaningful connections with others. Mastering charisma, becoming the most interesting person in the room. As we reach the final chapter of this audiobook, it's time to reflect on everything you've learned about becoming the most interesting person in the room. Charisma isn't a single trait. It's a collection of qualities that you can develop and refine. From mastering the art of conversation to using your body language to its fullest potential, every aspect of your presence plays a crucial role in how others perceive you and how you engage with the world. Now, as we bring everything together, let's take a look at how you can apply all the insights you've gained and continue to develop your charisma in everyday life. The journey doesn't end here. It's an ongoing process of growth and improvement. The good news is that with the tools you've gathered in this book, you now have the power to command any room, captivate any audience, and make lasting, meaningful connections with others. Consistency is key. One of the most important lessons in this book is the power of consistency. You've learned the importance of self-awareness, active listening, body language, storytelling, and emotional intelligence. To truly become the most interesting person in the room, you must consistently practice these skills. Charisma isn't about putting on a show or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and consistently showing up as your authentic, confident self. When you consistently engage with others in a thoughtful, empathetic, and engaging manner, you build trust, admiration, and respect. People are drawn to those who make them feel valued, understood, and appreciated. By consistently showing up with energy, positivity, and curiosity, you'll create a magnetic presence that others naturally gravitate toward. Continue to cultivate self-confidence. Self-confidence is the foundation of charisma. It's the belief that you have something valuable to offer and the willingness to express yourself authentically. As you continue to practice the techniques in this audiobook, your confidence will grow. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with who you are, flaws and all. Embrace your uniqueness and don't be afraid to stand out. To maintain and build your confidence, set small goals and celebrate your successes. Whether it's mastering a new conversation technique, delivering a powerful speech, or simply feeling more at ease in social situations, take note of your progress. The more you achieve, the more your self-confidence will increase, and the more magnetic your presence will become. Build deep connections. Being the most interesting person in the room isn't just about being the center of attention. It's about making others feel valued, understood, and respected. It's about building deep, meaningful connections with people who appreciate you for who you are. As you cultivate emotional intelligence and empathy, you'll find it easier to connect with others on a deeper level. Take the time to truly listen to others, ask thoughtful questions, and show genuine interest in their lives. People are drawn to those who make them feel heard and understood. When you build meaningful connections, you create a network of support, encouragement, and opportunity. The relationships you cultivate will not only make you more interesting, but will also open doors to new experiences, insights, and growth. Never stop learning and growing. To be the most interesting person in the room, you must never stop learning and growing. Charisma is a skill that can always be improved, and there's always room for growth. Whether it's through reading, taking courses, attending workshops, or engaging in meaningful conversations, commit to continuous self-improvement. Seek out new experiences, try new things, and remain open-minded. The most charismatic people are lifelong learners. They're constantly curious, open to new ideas, and willing to step outside their comfort zones. By adopting this mindset, you'll continue to evolve and improve, always staying ahead of the curve and remaining interesting and relevant. Conclusion: your charismatic journey. As you continue your journey to becoming the most interesting person in the room, remember that this process is about more than just mastering techniques. It's about becoming a more engaging, authentic, and confident version of yourself. By practicing active listening, body language, emotional intelligence, and storytelling, you'll be able to create deeper connections with others and leave a lasting impact wherever you go. Ultimately, charisma is about making others feel comfortable and valued in your presence. It's about showing up with authenticity, confidence, and empathy, and using your unique personality and talents to bring joy and value to those around you. The more you invest in developing these skills, the more you'll unlock your true potential. Now that you have the tools, the next step is to take action. Start applying these principles in your everyday life, and watch as your charisma grows, helping you become the most interesting person in the room, wherever you go. Thank you for listening to this audiobook, and I wish you the best of luck on your journey to mastering charisma and becoming the most engaging, magnetic person in every room you enter.